Everybody. So today we're going to be reading out of Acts. But before we get started, I want you guys to go to my YouTube channel. I will release this whole part of it on YouTube, and like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that share button. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I just want to first start by saying today is the day that the Lord has made. Y'all join in. So we're going to be reading out of Acts today. And we're going to be in Acts, and we're going to be in Acts chapter 27. I have different forms of the Bible. I have two different kinds, but they both say the same. So we're going to just go with the one I have in my hand. Dun, 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 dun. How's everybody doing today? I pray great. So we're going to read out of Acts 27, and we're going to do verses 42 through 44. And then we're going to jump right down to Acts 28. And we're going to jump from 1 all the way to verse 6. So it's going to be a little bit of a read, you guys. Ready, set, go. And the soldiers' plan was to kill the prisoners, lest any of them should swim away and escape. But the centurion, wanting to save Paul, keeping their purpose, and commanded those who could swim jump overboard and get to land, and the rest, and some on boards and some on parts of the ship. And so it was that they all escaped to the land safely. Now, when they had escaped, this is 28. Now, when they had escaped, they then found out that the island was called Malta. And the natives showed us unusual kindness, for they kindled a fire and made us all welcome because of the rain that was falling and because of the cold. But when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on a fire, a viper came out because of the heat and fastened on his hand. So when the natives saw the creature hanging from his hand, they said to one another, "No doubt this man is a murderer, whom though he escaped the sea, yet justice does not allow him to live." But he shook off the creature into the fire and suffered no harm. However, they were expecting that he would swell up or suddenly fall down dead. But after they had looked for a long time and saw no harm came to him, they changed their minds and said he was a god. My topic of today is learning how to swim. See, the devil had plans for him to die out at sea. Even when the ship crashed, they still want to keep him on the boat to die. But that wasn't God's plan. See, when you learn how to be blessed abundantly by God and know that he has your best interest at heart and that he's not going to let any harm come to you, nothing can stop you, not even a boat sinking, because he had someone positioned right there to allow him to swim away freely. Everyone else had to grab onto things, but because he can swim, he was able to get overboard and get to safety. But even when he got to safety on the land, unusual kindness was waiting on him. See, it wasn't that it was unusual kindness, it was a plot. See, they thought, oh, if he was a murderer, the snake would kill him anyway, because the justice of the sea didn't get him, so now the justice of the land would get him. Didn't know he was covered the whole time by God. No harm from the sea nor land can hurt him. As he got the sticks together, took them over to the fire, something was hiding in plain sight. It was a viper, not just a snake. A venomous, poisonous viper was there. And as the enemy set back, even the ones on land who were very kind, unusually kind, because they knew it was inside the bushes already, set back and watched him, thinking he was going to die. And as the people out on the water thought he was going to die, here he was. He rose again. He rose up from the water, and he's about to rise up from what was attacking him on land. As they're watching him go to the fire, and they're all having side conversations saying, oh, he about to die anyway. He didn't die in the sea, but he's going to die over here, because they knew what was in the bushes lurking, right? As he put the sticks in the fire, the viper jumped out and latched onto him, thinking, I'm a venomous viper. I'm going to kill you. He didn't know who God was. There's no harm going to come to God's people. I don't care what poison they put in your arm. I don't care what poison they put in your food, what you ingest. When God's for you, nothing or no one can be against you. Listen, the snake latched onto his arm, put all the venom that he can put in him. And as he looked down at it, I wonder if he was thinking, is this the best you got? Is this the best you got? As he shook the snake off of him. The nerve of you guys even try to plot this against me. You don't know who my God is. I can heal myself. I can heal all of you. And as you go further into Acts, he goes and he heals their people because he knew the God that he had inside of him. No harm was going to come to him. Even if the viper had venom inside of him, which he did, he could heal himself. He knew the God that he walked with. He knew the God he walked with for all those years with Jesus. He saw the miracle signs and wonders. You think a little snake was going to do harm to him? Do you think if the big ocean didn't swallow him up, that a snake was going to take him out? As they sat back and they watched, they said, this is what got me right here. They said they were expecting him to swell up or suddenly fall down dead. That's what the enemy was waiting for him to do. They sat back. They didn't even go over and help him. They sat back and watched him for a while to see if he was going to be affected by the snake's venom. They didn't know who they was in the presence of. They didn't know they was in the presence of a healer. He knew who his God was. So no matter what came his way, he knew he was going to survive. He didn't care about no snake latching on his arm. He shook it off. He was cold. He just survived the ocean. And he knew he was going to survive that. And even when he was in shackles, because he was a prisoner on that boat. He was a prisoner on that boat. He was going to his death. They were taking him to prison to die. He was a prisoner and he escaped death. He escaped shackles, prison. He jumped off that boat and he swam to safety just to run into another obstacle, because obstacles are going to come. But in the face of adversity, God will rise you up in the presence of your enemies. As they sat back with the plot that they had on him, because they thought he was a murderer. Surely a murderer didn't survive the ocean, but he's going to die now. Let's watch him and see if he's going to swell up. And he looking like, I don't know what y'all watching me for. I'm covered. I'm blessed and highly favored. I don't know what y'all watching me for. Ain't no death coming upon me. It's not coming upon me. It's not coming upon my household or my family. There's no death coming on me. So you can watch all you gonna watch, because I will not fall. I will not falter. I'm not gonna fall dead. What? Because I escaped the sea? Yeah, I escaped that, and they ain't killed me. You know how many sharks out there waiting for me? You know, I probably was bleeding because the boat crashed. It crashed. Listen, the boat crashed. This man was probably bloody, handcuffs on him, getting shook off. He's learning how to swim with the sharks. Put him in the ocean and watch he come back. Put him in the ocean and watch what he do. Then you put him on land in the rain, in the cold, and all he want to do is warm up, because he know he got wills to do. He know he got lives to heal. He knew what he had on him, and all while he's up here healing himself from the freezing cold and the rain, he just trying to get a little fire. Y'all sitting back there plotting against this man. Y'all was plotting against this man. And all he did was laugh at the little attack that y'all had, because it was so minute. You don't even know who you was in the presence of. Baby, Paul was one Saul, who was a murderer in the first place. Yes, he was a murderer. So yes, it probably was supposed to take him out. But he had been changed. He had been changed. And he knew that no weapon formed against him will prosper. He knew that. So it doesn't matter what attacks the enemy had for him. He knew that God had him. And as the enemy sat back, they became his footstool. Because if you go down, I'm going to go down a little further. I wasn't even planning on reading, because I'm going to let y'all know how they end up needing him in the end. Let me get up in here, you guys. And it happened that the father of Phoebus lay sick with a fever and dysentery. Paul went in to him and prayed, and he laid his hands on him, and he healed him. After they plotted against him, they needed him. They needed him after they plotted to kill him. They needed him in the sea. After they got on land, they needed him then. They needed him after they tried to kill him with a snake. They plotted his death. They end up needing the very person who they were trying to kill. See, you never know who you need in this lifetime. That's why you have to be careful who you entertain, and be careful how you treat God's people, because he was a healer by nature. He can heal you, yet you're trying to kill him, and you thought that a viper was gonna take him out? Bruh, miss Paul with that. You didn't know who you were in the presence of. I come here and I said, God put people in position. Even though the jailers were on the boat wanting to kill him, one person in particular was put there, was designedly divine to be right where he was. He would not let them kill him. They wanted to kill him and throw him off the boat and make sure he died. But God put one person in position to say, no, if he can swim, let him free. If everyone on this boat can swim, let him go. Even if they have to grab onto something, if they can get to land, they're free to go. One person spoke up. That's why I say learning how to swim. Had he not been equipped with the ability to swim, he might have been dead. Or he might not have, because God put people in position to save who he needs to save and deliver you from what he needs to deliver you from. And right then, God put the soldier right there to say, no. We're not going to kill him. Just throw him over. And if he can swim, he can swim. If he can't, he can't. But we're not going to kill him. We're going to allow God to let him have his perfect work. I say all this to say this. Your enemies are waiting on you to fail. Your enemies see you at your lowest. Your enemies see you falling, but they don't know this is just a come up. Your enemies are saying, oh, that car wreck took them out. Oh, that drug abuse. Oh, they're supposed to die from that overdose. Oh, they're supposed to die from being an alcoholic. Oh, they're supposed to die because they're gay. Oh, they're supposed to die. Oh, they're supposed to die. No. No. You will not die in this season. This is not your season to die. This is your season to show them what miracles are, what signs and wonders are, because they don't know who your God is. Because they thought that you're going to die. They're sitting back and they watch your life get destroyed on social media. They're sitting back and they're like tagging all their friends. They're sharing your downfall. They're sharing. They're like, watch them fall. Watch them fall. And you're like, no. And you're shaking them off. Because you know that God's getting ready to step in on your behalf. There's nothing that the enemy can plot against you that God can't deliver you from. Because you have faith the size of a mustard seed. So you know that you're going to overcome this. You know that this is nothing but an attack of the enemy. So it's a laughable attack. See, these are what I call this. See, if an ocean couldn't drown him, if sharks couldn't attack him, if he couldn't have died out there in the ocean, what can mere man do to him? If the ocean couldn't do it, why does a man think he can do it? Why do he think that he can plot something against him? If the ocean couldn't do it, why do you think you're going to do it? If drugs couldn't take you out, why do you think you can do it? If HIV can't take you out, why do you think a man is? Come on now. If it was meant for it, if it happened, it would do it. You can't plot against God's people. That's what you can't do. If Corona couldn't take you out, I had it twice. What do you think that God has for you? You can't take somebody out that's made from God. God has a purpose and he's going to get it fulfilled. It doesn't matter what your enemies are saying. They sat back in the audience and all of them are sitting back instead of reaching out to help. They're sitting back saying, they're surely going to die. They're surely going to drop down dead. They're surely going to fall. And you're like, you don't know who my God is. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. You will not kill me in this season. You will not bury my dream in this season. You will not bury me in this season. You will not touch anything in this household in this season. Not one hair on my head is going to fall in this season. If it couldn't take me out, you can't either. Death will not come near me. And as you're sitting back plotting my downfall, God is rising me up in the presence of you. And you will soon need the very person that you plotted against. Be careful how you treat God's people, because you will soon need a healing. You will soon need me to lay hands on you. You will soon need a loan from me. You will soon need clothes from me. You will soon need food from me. And because I am brought up in God's word, I will do it with a humble heart. But you will have to come back and be humble. You will have to then come back and be humble. Listen, God is doing a new thing in your life. Don't do it with arrogance. Do it with humbleness. Because God is going to put you in position to help the very people that plotted your death. Yes, your death. God says he's bringing them before you. But be very humble in the way you walk in life. Be very humble. Don't do it with arrogance, because they're coming back to you. They're already shamed because they thought that you were going to die. They thought that the plans that they had for your life was going to take you out. They wished death upon you and your household. They wished it over you. But God says be humble in this next season, because they already been through the storm. They already been through the persecution. He's just bringing them back so you can see that they had to need you in the first place. The very person who they thought was going to die, the very person that they thought they was going to take out, the very person that they plotted against, they were going to need you in the first place. But God says he's going to put you in position so you can see that they needed you. That you're going to see that they always needed you. And the reason that they wanted your head is because they always wanted to be you. They wanted to have the anointing over your life. They wanted that, but they didn't know how to get it. And instead of coming to you and asking you, how do you get there? They plotted against you. And not only did they plot against you, they got other people together so they can become a cloak and get together and say they're surely gonna die. But baby, if a sea can't drown you, if a shark can't attack you, if a viper can't kill you, if AIDS can't kill you, if corona can't kill you, if car accidents can't kill you, if drug abuse can't kill you, if fornication can't kill you, if alcoholism can't kill you, nothing can kill you. Nothing. There's no weapon formed against you that will prosper in this season. You shall live and not die, and you shall see the testimonies that are about to come to you. You are the chosen one in this season. You are the chosen one in this season. I'm going to say it one more time. You are the chosen one in this season, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. But everything you do, I ask that you have humbleness behind it, because you're going to be put in positions to look down on people, not physically looking down, but spiritually looking down and rising them up. Yes, I know you plotted against me. Yes, I know you and all your friends laughed at me. You laughed at me when I said I was going to start talking about God. You laughed at me when I said I was going to change my life. You laughed at me when I said I was going to be a wife. You laughed and said, oh, you were a hoe your whole entire life, and now you want to be someone's wife? Haven't you heard you can't turn a hoe into a housewife? Oh, okay. You laughed now that I have my engagement. You laughed. It's not funny now that I'm married. It's not funny now. It's not funny now. Now you're trying to get marital advice from me. But I'm going to give it to you because I knew that even though I went through this season of fornication, that God said that was that season. And I had to get everything out of that season. You laughed at me when I had my little business plan and didn't know what I was going to do or how I was going to do it. And I had $100 in the bank and I said, God, I don't know when, where, or how, but I'm just going to try. You were laughing and mocking, but now it's a multi-million-dollar business and you asking me for an employment. And now I got to sit back and show you how to thrive. Listen, everyone's laughing at small beginnings. And I said this last night in a video. Don't fret small beginnings, because you got to start from somewhere. Listen, the ocean didn't just get there. It started with a drop and it began to flourish. Everything has a purpose. You can start off small and be big tomorrow. God's timing isn't your timing. God's timing is his timing, and he can make it happen just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Trust me. My favorite verse is in Acts chapter 2, verse 2. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. The key word in that is suddenly. God is a suddenly God, and you can suddenly be on the ship in shackles planning your death, to swimming in the ocean free, landing on a land that they were divinely designed to try to kill you, plotting your death, laughing at you when a viper bites you, to shaking it off and saying, you don't know who my God is. Is this the best you got? Is this the best you got? Baby, I was over there about to die in the first place. I swam to my freedom and I get here and you plotting my death with a funky snake? The nerve of you. Baby, if that's the best you got, try it again. And try it again. And try it again, because you don't know my God. You don't know my God. See, you halfway believing, you halfway here and halfway there, and ain't nothing worse than an unstable mind. Ain't nothing worse than an unstable mind. But I know who my God is, and I'm strong in my mind. See, strength comes from here, and once you put your mind to it, you can do anything. The mind is the most powerful thing on the planet. Once you start believing, and they're saying these little affirmations here, and there, put your mind to it. Put your mind to it and then add faith to it and watch what God do. See, small things become big. You're bigger than what it is. That's why the attack on your life is so big right now. That's why the attack on your life is so big. The devil isn't going to attack something that he already has. That's why some people can live and sin and be happy. Because he already got them. He already got them. He ain't worried about what he got. He wants you. He wants your house. He know that you're protected. He wants you. But I'm going to end on this. I'm going to close saying this. The devil can't take anything from you. You can freely give it to them. You can freely give it to him. He can't take anything. Had Paul said, oh my gosh, I'm bitten, what am I going to do? He would have succumbed to his own death, and the enemies would have laughed and rejoiced because a murderer didn't get justice in the water, but he got it on the land. When problems come, don't say, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? You say, my God, you're bigger. My God is not going to take me out. Though they slay me, yet shall. Listen, you're bigger than what the plot of the enemy is. You're bigger. You're chosen. Walk like you know who your God is. Walk who you know who your God is. Walk like you know who your God is. I'm going to leave off saying this. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. You should be the head and not the tail. You should be above and not beneath. God is going to place you in positions of power. But in that power, in that position of power, be humble at all times. Because people who plotted against you are going to come back for your head. They're going to come back, but they have been through the storm. And they're coming back to know how you got there. And I need you to be humble in this lifetime. And I need you to say, even though you plotted to kill me, I will lay hands on you. I will heal you. I will show you how to get there. I will. Even though you plotted against me, I know who my God is. I know who my God is. And no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. I love you guys. Be safe and go in peace.